before you.
Me too.
Yes.
Me too.
Hello.
And this is live. And today, what the Fae? Look
What
who
the
we have
Fae?
here. We have Ginger Fae.
Tis I, tis I.
Tis
Ginger
her. So Ginger, this has been a
feeling
show that's
better.
been in the making for a couple of weeks. We finally did it. 1 week Nancy wasn't feeling well.
Between that
Ginger
and I
wasn't
had
feeling well.
bronchitis, and then your internet
Yeah,
wasn't well.
exactly. So we're here. Yay. So thank you everybody who will watch back on playback. We appreciate that. I see we have 4 people. And I'm assuming we got a couple of lurkers. So welcome lurkers. And of course we have Brandon, which is
My
Ginger's
boo.
little man cub, as you like to
He's my
call him.
man cub, which isn't
So
a cub anymore. He's just a man. He'll always be my man cub.
yes.
Yeah.
He left
So
me for the first time for well, maybe not 5 whole days. It felt like an eternity. He went up to New York with his girlfriend and father to meet her family.
so what part of New York? I didn't get a chance to ask what town.
Brendan, what town were you in? I don't remember.
I think you said
It was on the border of Toronto, though. No, not really.
Okay, and we have Sandy Black. Hello,
Hi,
sir. It's
Sandy.
good to see you. Thanks for
you.
being here. And it's so interesting that you say that because my new counselor, I met her last week, and she's like, "Oh, it says you know you're from New York." And I said, "Yep." I go, "I'm from the Western New York area." And she goes, "Oh my goodness." I said, "What?" She goes, "My partner that I've been with for a while now, he's from Buffalo." And I said, "Oh, really?" I said, "What part of Buffalo?" She goes, "Well, it's more like a suburb. I'm sure you've heard of it." She goes, "It's called Williamsville." And I went, "Oh my God, that's my hometown."
Oh my
So,
goodness.
the synchronicities, what a small world, So,
Yeah,
very
when I
cool.
Did
was
you
there,
possibly know him?
Huh? I don't know. But
Yeah.
she can't talk to him about me because of the HIPAA
Right,
laws.
right.
Yeah.
oh,
So, hey, you never know. We might have,
HIPAA.
Yeah.
you never know. She's a little younger than me. I think I might have about maybe 10, if that, years on her. But you just
Wouldn't that
never
be
know.
something if you'd gone to school together?
Yeah, wouldn't it? So, but yeah, so today, I hope everybody had a beautiful summer solstice weekend. And if you are Wiccan or pagan and you celebrate Litha, I hope you had a beautiful Litha celebration, also pronounced Litha by some.
Yeah.
And that's why we decided it was perfect timing to have Ginger join us because, summer solstice, a lot of legend is surrounded around, William Shakespeare, Midsummer Night's Dream with the Fae and the fairies. And so we thought, oh, what a perfect timing. So it ended up working, perfectly. So each of us have decided to choose 1 or 2 either goddesses or female elementals or energies, or archetypes, however we want to look at it, and discuss them. And I am going to let our guest Ginger start off with who she wanted to talk about today.
Okay.
Put you in
Well, I
the
have a little. Okay, and so my internet might be in and out, so I don't know what's going to happen. But so I have a little story to tell, and it leads into why I chose who I chose. Several years ago, when I was first starting this journey, and we're talking maybe near 13 years ago, I went to a spirit fair, I'll call them. And so I wanted to have a healing done. So for Reiki healing. And I knew the person, but not very well. We were taking a class at the same time with someone. And as she was doing her healing, she's like, wow, Ginger. She goes, you have some hybrid energy in you. I'm like, well, what does that mean? And she goes, well, you're part human and part maybe otherworldly. I'm like, well, maybe fairy? And I was just joking, you know. And she goes, I'm not sure, but it's definitely hybrid. And so that was fascinating to me. And so it was a couple years later, I asked a friend of mine just to do some healing on me. I was going through some things, and she does chakra healing. She'll go in and just clear the chakras and do whatever she needs to. Awesome work. So anyway, she was doing her healing on me. Hey, Stephen.
We
Yes, we
conquered
did
him.
call my.
Oh.
So anyway, she said the most interesting thing happened. She'd never had this happen to her before. As she was going through each chakra, she got down to my sacral chakra. And she said all of a sudden she started hearing cheering going on. And they're like, yay, Ginger's one of us. Ginger's one of us. And she really got the feeling of elven energy. And they were happy that I finally recognized this and stuff like this.
Very cool.
So the hybrid energy from the healing a couple years prior, I put the two together, and you know, it sounds like a fantastical thing. So am I really part fae? I don't know, but it is a fun story.
I love it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I do.
So for that reason, I chose Danu, and I'm going to read a little bit of Danu. Oh, and by the way, backtrack. A couple months ago, I had an Akashic Records reading, and I can't remember who was reading, Sherry or Diane. I can't remember. I was just asking, is there any connection between me and then Celtic, Celtic ancestry? And she went on to say, yes, you do have Celtic, and it's more Irish. And I'm thinking it would be Scottish because I'm just all about Scotland, and I lived there for a couple of years. She said Irish, and you were a fairy elemental, an Irish fairy
I love
elemental.
that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So again, is this true? It's a fun story, you know.
It's
So,
three different people, Ginger.
I
Three
know, right?
different people coming up with the same thing. I think you can pretty much, done deal.
Right? So, okay. So one day my spiritual teacher, she had asked me, Ginger, I've never thought to ask before, but what is your fairy name? And I'm like, fairy name? I've just never thought of a fairy name before. And so the next morning I'm driving to work. It's really early, like almost 6 a.m. And so I started asking. I always did I call it my driving meditation. So I started asking, what is my fairy name? Do I have a fairy name? And I was coming up with this, gingerfae. No, that's stupid. That's my channel name. And I was just going on. And all of a sudden I heard Frey. And my friends were at one time I was thinking calling myself, instead of Ginger Fae, I was going to call myself Fairy Ray, because my middle name is Ray, named after my grandmother.
Ooh.
But as I'm driving down the road and I hear Frey, and I'm like, Frey? Is that my fairy name? And I got tingles all over. And I'm like, oh my God, am I Frey? And all of a sudden, I'm getting tingles now. Tingles everywhere. I started getting emotional, and I'm sitting here trying to drive and be emotional.
Stephen says Fairy Ray sounds like a drag name.
Thanks, Stephen. Faye Ray. I should have been Faye Ray, Fae Ray, Rae. Yeah. Oh, he's at it already. You're funny.
Yeah. Well,
So anyway,
I'd be worried about it.
I just felt so special and magical, this feeling. So anyways, all that to say, I picked Danu. Danu is Irish fairy goddess. Danu means the flowering one. And I'm going to read it a little something here. It says, little is known of Danu except for that she was considered one of the most ancient of all Celtic deities. She is the great mother of the gods of Ireland and the divine creator who birthed all things into being. She is also an earth goddess, the earth mother, also known as the Morrigan. She is a goddess of fertility, abundance, of wisdom, and of the winds. She is connected to the Fairy Hills in Ireland and is associated with the dolmens, also known as a portal tomb, which is interesting. You know how I am all about portals.
Mm-hmm.
So she is known as mother of the Tuatha De Danann, which is depicted to be a race of supernatural beings known for their superhuman abilities. So I'll go on about the Tuatha De Danann in a moment, but that made me think, oh my gosh, there's the hybrid energy right there. Tuatha De Danann is Gaelic for people of the goddess Danu. And they were said to have being very skilled in magic. And the earliest reference to them relates to that they were banished from the heavens because of their knowledge. And then they descended on Ireland in a cloud of mist. And they were present before the first ancestors of the modern Irish. They were thought to have disappeared into the hills as the ancestors of those Irish shoot them away. But it's a common Irish folklore that they may still reside in these hills. So, you know, Steve was talking about green eyes. My eyes sometimes go green. Nancy thought I had green eyes. They're kind
I
of
thought you did too.
Oh, I don't know. Some days.
Look into my eyes.
On my birth certificate says blue. But most of my life they looked a little gray. Except if I've been crying, they get very blue. But a lot of times they're like this greenish gray, green blue, and I don't know. So
the color of mist of those misty mountains.
So, anyways, that is why I picked Danu because it was also thought that the Tuatha De Danann came from another world, not heaven. Who knows what the heavens are? So again, when she said I had hybrid energy, that was a connection for me when I learned about the Tuatha De Danann. So that's why I chose Danu.
So Ginger, let me ask you, how do you feel internally when someone suggests that, out of the clouds and the mist from the skies, basically they came? Do you feel like they were an extraterrestrial race coming to our planet? Does that resonate with you?
It does resonate, and I just got tingles on this side. It does resonate. That
does with me too, in a way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, yeah.
All righty. Well, thank you.
Thank you for letting me share.
Yes, I love the story sharing.
Yes.
We all get
yes. Very special.
What'd you choose? Who'd you choose?
Oh, okay. I'm next, huh? Well, what I was thinking about was Queen Mab, MAB, and she's also she's linked to the Morrigan, but she's also known as is it Mave?
Maeve, Maebe. There's another spelling.
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
And she appeared in Shakespeare's Midsummer Night's Dream. And one of the things that I found when I was looking about her is during this time, Queen Elizabeth I was a member of the Court Poetry and Magic Syndicate, which also included Francis Bacon and John Dee.
Did someone say Bacon?
He was an occultist. And it was founded by Edward Vere, the Lord Chancellor of England, and the Queen was very much a part of this particular underground stream of knowledge. And she went through a mystical ceremony conducted in the depths of the Windsor Forest, where she was crowned Queen of the Greenwood. I just thought that was interesting. That has nothing to do with my goddess, but anyhow. She was also known, Queen Mab was also known as the Queen Wolf. She is
Oh,
described as being tiny, about the size of an agate stone, and travels in a coach led by insects.
oh wow.
One article said her coachman was a mosquito. So now Mave, the goddess queen, is a powerful wild warrior deity. She is the goddess of both love, fertility, and war and death, which is very similar to the Morrigan. So I think they're all kind of interwoven, aren't they?
Yep.
Um,
Same with mine.
she is the essence of power, promise, and abundance of earth. She is heady, intoxicating, and a goddess of ecstasy. And her
Woohoo.
symbols are birds and gold. And I wrote down on the side that she is the goddess of strength and cunning, and also like I said, the love, fertility, war, and death. And I found a thing in one of my books about her, and it said near the beginning of summer, the wee folk of Ireland come out of hiding for a grand celebration of spring and summer. If you don't want the mauve too, or is it just mauve? I don't want to mispronounce your name. And the citizens of Fae to pull pranks on you, take precautions as the Europeans do. Avoid traveling, put a piece of clothing on inside out, wear something red, and leave the fairy folk an offering of sweetbread, honey, or ale. In some cases, this will please the fairies so much that they will often offer to perform a service or leave you a gift in return. I love that.
Love it.
Me too. And something that Sandy Black said is yes, John Dee was the royal advisor to the Queen. And if anybody watches this TV series, A Discovery of Witches, they did an amazing job too of incorporating all that together in with John Dee and the book and all this. So I highly recommend that TV show. It was on for 3 seasons based on the books. And Steven says, yes, we are all across time, all related somehow. So yes, and the same thing with mine. I have a little bit of a story as well to share, like Ginger did. And hello, we've been joined by
Hi,
Pamela.
Pam.
Hello, Miss Pamela Bacha. Thank you for joining us. So for me, back when I was in Arizona, I was starting to learn how to do Reiki healing and working with crystals. And I really don't remember how I came. Oh, I know how it was. I was visiting a co-worker's house, and she asked me if I ever saw the TV miniseries Miss of Avalon. And I said I had seen the books, and she said, "Well, let's let's just watch the." And I didn't see it, so they're starting it, and between the music and the opening with Morgaine in the boat, heading across the waters and stuff, I literally physically started crying. I started shivering. It was just like I got extremely emotional, and we're looking at each other going, okay, this is definitely something. So for a brief while, I, tried to study and find what I could on Morgan Le Fay. So back then, the internet with YouTube and everything was still, still rather early on compared to what it is now. And everything I could find on her was just, basically, negative stuff, which why I end up enjoying watching the miniseries because it showed her as connection to Faye. They didn't emphasize that as much, I don't think, in the miniseries, but still about her abilities, her powers, being a priestess, and her Lady of the Lake, her Aunt Vivian, taking her to the Isle of Avalon. That scene where she parts, goes like this, and
Oh,
parts
wow.
the oh my! I even still get goosebumps all over. So yeah,
Every time I
definitely.
hear the name Morgan Le Fay, I picture a fairy pirate.
Ah,
A fairy pilot.
Pirate.
pirate.
Oh, pirate.
I
Oh,
picture
Oh,
a fairy in pirate garb.
I can kind of hear her saying, "Oh, that's cool."
no.
She goes, "I didn't quite have the booty for it." So that just popped in. So after I left Arizona and I had some personal stuff happen in my life, I kind of, lost ways with her and disconnects, spiritually and whatnot. But every now and then she comes back in and around, especially with the Morgan. So Morgan Le Fay, alternatively known as Morgane Le Fay, but which is interesting too. Le Fay wasn't added until I have his name written down here. A French. I wrote a whole bunch of notes. So Thomas Mallory added kind of like the Le Fay to it around the 15th century. But her name goes through the etymology of her name compared to other female deities in the area over the years. It was like a whole, rabbit's hole. So she appears roughly around 1150 in Geoffrey Amandus Vita Merlini, where of course she's, you know, portrayed from there on out as, the evil sorceress and who's, bent on destroying King Arthur and hates Guinevere and all this stuff. And so when I was watching, like I said, the Mists of Avalon, even though that is a work of fiction, it felt like Marion really, I think, connected more on the true spiritual aspects of Morgane's life, of Morgan Le Fay's life. And so I had a hard time finding anything really on her that was positive. And oh, Steve, it sounds like an adult
I know.
film
I was
star.
just about to say.
And so I went
I
to
meant
this
to
one
put a happy
bookstore.
face, and a bee came out. I have no idea they were nowhere near each other.
So I was at this one bookstore called Aradia, and I was telling the owner, I said, I can't find anything that's really truly her essence, like that really tells people who she was. And she looked at me and she goes, maybe you're supposed to write it. And I was like, but
Hey,
again, that was a while back, so I don't know. It kind of felt like she's been wanting to come back, and when we decided to do this episode, boom, she was kind of like right there in my face. And she's also connected with the Morgan as well. So other names are Fata Morgana, and others.
say that 3 times fast.
Fata Morgana. So, of course, she's been featured through poetry, Lancelot Grail, something called the post-Vulgate cycle. So, I mean, her story, multiple stories, are just again, it's like going down a rabbit's hole. She's also has been known as Mudran, Marie. What was it? Marie Morgans, the Welsh Breton water spirits.
Ooh.
But of course, she's still connected with Merlin. Um, People feel that she learned or he taught or she taught. So back and forth is he taught her, she taught him. And again, too, a lot of some of these female deities that we come across in mythologies were kind of reinterpreted because by then the patriarchy had pretty much settled in, and so a lot of these stories are being written and influenced by from monks and men who are more Christian based than what the early on people, the pagan peoples were. So you kind of the nego, so you got to kind of take with a grain of salt, especially with the black magic and everything. But again, she was connected with Avalon, the Isle of Apples, where she took her brother, as we hear the story, um, King Arthur, after he died in battle. So yeah, there's just it goes on and on about her. But yeah, being also connected to the Morgan, and it says here too. Marion Zimmer Bradley's The Mists of Avalon presents a different view of Morgana's opposition to Arthur, depicting her actions as stemming from her fight to preserve the native pagan religion against what she sees as the treachery and oppression of Christianity. She has also been widely portrayed in comic books and other more or less speculative novels and movies. So when you do look up, all sorts of fantasy genre, whether buxom, evil sorceress or, she's in a spacesuit with her, So yeah, it's how people, interpret her. And but for me, she's always there. She's always around, and it may very well just need to be coming back and working with her again at some point. So, and Steven says that Dane Patriarch, yeah, she found her way into Marvel Comics. Yep, she did. She did.
I need to make a correction. I think it's steam powered giraffe, not steampunk giraffe. Look that video up. Steam powered giraffe, honeybee. I love the way they sing that song. But anyways, moving on.
Ooh, okay.
When after I had started my channel, I was looking up more, and I never thought to look up to see if anybody has gingerfae, So I did, and I only found one person, and he was an erotic dancer.
Ooh, an erotic dancer.
Okay, gingerfae tarot.
Yeah, really.
Hopefully they'll never find that person. It was hilarious. It was.
Oh my God, I love that.
So Stephen wasn't far off.
Well, there you go. See, Steve's tapped in. He knows his. He knows his. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. He knows. So we are at 2:30, and usually, when we're done talking about whatever goddesses that we want to discuss.
It's like 2:30.
Well, 2:30 here for me.
I keep forgetting you're 3 hours away from me.
I know.
That's the one thing that
very
I don't
confusing.
Like. Yeah, sorry. So we're at 5:30.
Okay. What are we gonna do, Heather?
You're blurry.
Oh, I am. Lord have mercy.
I think you invited the fae, and then they're all kind of like playing around with your camera now, going, "Ooh, let's make her fun."
Somebody is,
because they can be very mischievous.
There we go.
Mischievous.
Okay, I'm back. It's the mist.
I'm going to be reading.
I was in the mist.
On this deck this summer. I finally the Fairies Oracle. I've had it for about a year now, and so I'm definitely going to start reading that and connecting with that, especially where I'm at. I am not a West Coaster snob now. No, I'm not. So
see, I was from California. We're all cool people.
I'm in the PNW, baby. I'm part of the PNW. So we open up the floor for readings.
Are we readings? Woo-hoo.
And so if anybody would like a sacred feminine reading, just please type me in all caps. Because we are focusing on a certain goddess. I think I'm going to, if anybody would like, reading, when they get one from me, it'll be from Morgan Le Fay herself, or the archetype energy, if you will. But yeah, see what kind of message that she has. So if anybody would like to read, it says that we have 7 people hanging out with us. So thank you, everybody. Still, guys, find some of our other ones that used to join us over on the other channel, and get them over here. Let's see. Pamela says,
exactly.
Ginger, it depends if you're North or South Carolina.
Exactly.
So,
Carolina or California?
Nothing can be finer than North Carolina.
It was so confusing to me when I moved here, and everybody's going SoCal.
SoCal, they were calling it Southern California.
Right. I was thinking South Carolina. No, I'm thinking of USC. Okay, US.
Yeah, she meant USC. California.
California. No, there's a USC here. It's University of Southern Carolina. I knew what you meant, Pam.
Stephen, if you would like a
Cowabunga.
reading, raise your hand. Oh, wait. Stephen, would you like a reading? I don't think I've ever read for you. I can't remember. I've known you for so long. I can't remember if I have.
Well,
so in the meantime, another story that I could share, because it's something that reminded me when Ginger was talking about, her experiences when I was visiting a friend in Massachusetts in my early 20s. I went and took a nap, and as I was starting to fall asleep, I actually didn't fall asleep. I actually felt myself falling, which was an experience I never had. And I remember having this image of walking through what might have been like considered maybe like an antique store or something, but coming up to this mirror and looking in it, it was like I had like dark hair, I had slightly pointed ears, just like it wasn't like, super emphasized, but there was like a slight point to them. I had, long, like black or dark hair. I sometimes can't remember if it was short or long, or maybe somewhere in between. And I remember wearing something blue, and I remember a blade attached to my leg, and it was like a sterling silver. And I remember seeing like I think maybe like sapphires or something on it. They were like a dark blue stone or whatever. And then I remember seeing this store, and it was like one of those old fashioned like medieval archway doors, doorways, and with the wood and I remember pulling on the rings, opening the door, and there was a gentleman rides up on a horse and invites me onto the horse. And as I'm doing that and we rode away, I heard in my head, "We are the children of the Tuatha De Danann." And I thought that was very interesting.
wow.
So, Stephen, maybe we could conjure Miss Tarody. I don't know. She may be on her way home from work and can't. You want one? Well, there we go.
Yeah.
So if anyone's ready, go ahead.
How many cards are you pulling? Is there a rule?
Nope, no rule.
All right. One more thing.
I had let's see. Do I want this one? No, I don't want this one. I always bring several decks that I always want to come. Hello, Selena, my dear. Selena has joined us.
Hi, Selena.
Essence of the Moon.
Oh, you missed some good stories. You'll have to watch it back.
And of course, last year when I was at the Arboretum and I was taking pictures of the flowers, I heard in my head, "Don't you remember when you used to play with us when you were a child?" And my mom said I used to talk to my imaginary friends in her flower gardens and her flower beds when I was little. So there's some sort of connection there. Monday meetings. Oh, I gotta love those meetings, girl. Ooh, do I have the book out for this? I'll turn my tower here. Where's my book? Well, I guess I'm going to have to wing it. I know, Sleet, isn't that funny? Oh, so Pamela would like one too. Hey, I've got to find this book. Because these are very interesting cards, Stephen. And tomorrow's also the new moon. Today's the 20. Oh, no, is it? No, Wednesday's the new moon. I think the 24th or 25th. Yeah, hold on a second. I'll be right back. Let me know if somebody wants to go, and I'll put you in the big screen.
I'm ready whenever everybody else is ready.
Oh,
Okay.
let me get you up there then. Meow.
Yes, you have. Yes, you have. All right, since I picked Danu, I'm going to pick a message from the Star Fae, a message from the Earth Fae, and the in between elementals and stuff. I'll be gentle. I'll be gentle. Okay. All right, I am looking at this image. You got a lot of foxes in your hen house here, Stephen. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is page one. So, Stephen, this seems like you're embarking on a new journey, something very creative. You have these fox here, a family of fox. Um, fox. They're like they're like the messengers from the in between worlds. So, let me look in here as well. All right. So, yeah. So, wait one moment. She I'm going to say okay, yes. So she is playing a violin or a fiddle, a stringed instrument. So I don't know if you have a guitar. I feel like you would be a person would have a guitar. So definitely starting something new um, for me, music, I could not live without music. Even when we had no power, music was so ingrained in me. I was playing music in my head the whole time. We were out of power during Halloween. But this is embarking on a new journey, but it's like the in between liminal space. So something magical may be happening with this new path of creativity for you, Cosmic. And then we're going to the earth realm of the Fae. Okay. I want to read from the book because this was such a fascinating scripture in this one. But I'm a musician, was in a band for 10. Hey, I
There you
used to be a
go.
musician. I played, heavy metal guitar, believe it or not. Judas Priest, the Scorpions. Um, now I only have a 12 string, but anyway.
Hello.
Um, okay, so within this new path, this new journey on it's going to be a successful journey. You are going to be very well recognized by your peers. And this bluebird, they're on a weather vane. So I feel like you would be at a point in your life where you go where the winds take you. That's what came here. But I wanted to read this passage here. Yeah, I'm not even going to try to say it's French. Um, it says, you have fought your way up, and now it's time to be recognized for all your work. The red flag is a symbol of personal pride in your accomplishments. The honeybees, and how funny I put the honeybee earlier, they're tokens of productivity and hard work. Thistles represent the struggles along your path, and the bluebird has mastered navigation, and so have you. What else are you saying? Um, I'm blowing Pamela's mind anyway.
Yeah. He says he would love to hear you play. I would. I think I got to
Oh,
hear a
that
little
blows your
bit, but
mind.
I
Yeah. I had a metallic purple Ibanez Roadstar 3. And it was the good Ibanez. It was a hard, heavy body, solid body, anyway. Anyways, your continued message is when life comes to a standstill, turn inward and focus on joy and excitement. Your inner light keeps everything alive and moving. So, Stephen, we all know that you have that light that shines on. You bring joy to all of us with that light. So that's what that one's about. And your last one is your exotic fae. The night calls. There's your exotic fae, just for you, Stephen. The night calls. So I think you're going to get a lot of your ideas in that liminal space between dawn and dusk. In the night, this is a massive. This is an eagle, a black eagle, very very unique eagle. So you have a very unique messenger wanting to work with you, Stephen. And he calls in the night. So there's my story for you, Stephen. I hope that was all right. You scry and astral.
He's astral travels.
Okay, that one gave me hot flashes.
Oh dear.
Oh my.
My hot flashes are back. I had to find my fan. Oh my goodness.
You're just a youngin'.
Steven's providing the heat for that.
Oh my God, it's 95 here.
Thank you, Miss Ginger and Nancy.
The first card that I got for you, Stephen, is the Keeper of Focus. Let me see if I can get this. And when you look at this image, when you focus on your limitations or what you fear, it's like going through life with a mask on. You can't really see properly. And if you look below, there are all these keys. And those are your possibilities. Those are the things that you want to obtain. Important things that you want to do in your lifetime. And it's important to be focused on that, to take off the mask and think positively rather than any type of negativity, because negativity is self-defeating. Then when you have those keys in your grasp and you know what you want, nurture it. Let it grow, hold it close in your hands. And the final card that I got for you, Stephen, is Home Sweet Home. And I love this for you because, like me, you were retired and you're home now more than you were when you were working. And your home is a very precious place for you and your wife. And so that is something that you nurture and enjoy, I'm sure. And that's what I have for you, Stephen.
Nice. So, Stephen, where do I start? Let's start in the middle. And he says, Austin, Nancy, great reading. And there you go. Always get a good reading from Nancy. So I'm going to I'm going to start with these first two cards. So I have both playful and I also have complicated. And these are from the Colette Baron Reed's House of Night Oracle deck. And immediately when I saw that, it's saying for me, the bottom card is the overall like underlying energy that things have been complicated in the past. I feel like this is a lot of you coming to the community now, not just doing your videos where you flip through your cards, but now you're going live, you're connecting with the community more, you're showing up as a teacher, as a mentor, giving us fellow readers a space to share our stories and so that we can learn from one another. And so for me, in the past, things were a bit complicated. And even in life right now, things can be complicated. But this is the card is the reminder of not losing that playfulness. Keeping we see that playful nature, in chat with us. So kitten's got claws. This kid might look playful, but kitten's got claws. And that was a Whitesnake song back in the 80s, if y'all remember. So remembering, to keep that playfulness within ourselves, that inner child, let that inner child come out and play to help us through, what goes on with our life. Now, the card I want to focus on next is the Wolfbane. And this is from my Magical Botanical Oracle deck. And I just absolutely love the artwork. So you got this whole wolf energy coming up here. And the affirmation for this is, I am a spiritual warrior. And I think you've even said that yourself, that you feel at times like you have been or still are a spiritual warrior. I think many of us are, and this card is, I think, more of just a reminder or an acknowledgement from the goddess herself that you are that spiritual warrior. You are connected to the phases of the moon, your intuition, your connection with your intuitive abilities, your psychic abilities. And what jumped out for me from the book, which is interesting, is Wolfbane is not a friendly spirit to most people. It draws up that which is animalistic inside us, but its medicine is to help us face the primal fears and dreads of existence and in our own personal journey. So, this is about being able to face those fears. And I think a lot of that is stuff that you were able to do to be able to come onto YouTube now and to start sharing your truth, your wisdom, your knowledge with all of us and whoever comes across your channel, that's meant to. And so the divination is just an indication of courage in the face of challenge, and being able to go further and deeper by tapping into the magic of that primal self. So that's where that card is. And I think the last two tarot cards, the Three of Pentacles, again, working together with other people, helping people, guiding them, kind of being, we are talking about architecture last Friday, about plans and how we create and build our spiritual rituals and our practices in connection to tarot and learning the basics of tarot and of esoteric knowledge. And so again, there's that Three of Pentacles, all of us coming together, working to create something that's beautiful, something that's positive. And the final card too is that Six of Wands, which is success. So moving forward, you will have continued success. Yeah, you will have continued success. I mean, there's nothing much more I can say than what the cards are already saying. And I hope that resonated with you, Stephen. So there, that's my reading for you. And there's absolute silence. I can hear him saying, "Well, I tell you what."
I tell you what.
I get that from a lot.
That was a great reading.
Let's see, Pentacles, great work, vision, and the voice. Yep, coming together to create, to learn. And when we do that, we all succeed. We are all successful. And yeah, we learn from each other. I love that. So, all righty. So I believe that I know Pamela asked for a read. So we got Stephen.
Okay, so
I pulled for Pamela, so I hope she's next.
Yes,
okay.
I do too.
So
go Pam, go Pam.
Hi, Pam.
Pamela, you are up.
All right. So, we asked for who we've chosen today, and I chose Danu, and I believe she was a star fae, and so I have pulled. Shadowscapes reminds me of star fae beings. So, anywho, moving along. All right. So. Okay. Sorry. All right. So we have this beautiful, I don't know about anybody else, but if you've ever just went to the edge of a cliff and just look around, and I jump in the water too, but this water looks a little too deep or too far away. But anyway, this card is depicting you on a journey and you looking beyond the horizon at the infinite possibilities of what is coming your way. You are waiting for that particular, let's say, beam, orb of light to come in. It's almost like, people say ship coming in when they do Three of Wands, but I feel like it's like an orb like the sun. So let's say, son of an orb. But anyway, so this is about you putting yourself out there, taking a little bit of a risk to get what you are desiring in life on your path. You definitely are not alone. You have a companion here, faithful companion. That could mean so many things. It could be a dear friend. It could be a literal familiar, a cat. It could be your guiding team. So this is we're talking about Danu here, and since she become from the star, I feel like she's writing in an orb, and she's asking you, Pamela, what is it? Do you desire? And to know that you don't have to do what you were trying to manifest alone. It's good to have someone along your journey with you, possibly like-minded. Maybe they're on the same path as well. So there's that. Um, as Danu came to Earth into being, your message is here from a meadowlark, and it's I think this one is acknowledging what type of person you are. You're a giver, you're a healer, you're looking for balance. And this is about being in balance. The energies of giving and receiving, the equal exchange of energies is what I'm trying to say. You got a lot blossoming around you. So if you've been going through a challenging time or just hopefully finishing a challenging time, know that things are coming into balance for you, and you need to keep balance in your life, mind, body, and spirit. You have the message of a badger saying, hope is on the horizon. In the face of challenges, remember that nothing lasts forever. Trust that the universe has good things in store for you. So he's a cute badger. And my final card for you. I asked, what energy should Pamela embrace at this time? And you have the fairy of patience. In this image, I feel like it's you needing to provide the light, the fuel, the fire. Um, you need to spark that bright light within you, bring it back out. So I don't know if you've been feeling a little less than. I'm hoping you haven't. He's never seen this before. A little hedgehog in here. Um, so for me, that little hedgehog is saying that you definitely are protected. You have divine protection. But even though you're waiting for this orb to come in, you need to like put up the signal for it to find you. So reaching in deep, brightening that heart space light, bring it out so that the universe and the energies recognize you, and you call to them, and they answer. So there's your story, Pamela. I hope it made sense to you.
That's your story, and she's sticking to it.
It is. It is.
Awesome. Thank you, Ginger and Miss Nancy.
Well,
Hmm.
the first card that came out for you is the Keeper of Comfort.
Oh, cute.
And I love this because she is snuggled under a tree and she is enjoying the comfort of the shade tree. And this is also, when I look at it, it's a card of snuggling. Um, you know,
Everybody wants to snuggle a unicorn.
yeah, she's snuggling a unicorn, but it's like, snuggling a blanket and snuggling up to the earth and just enjoying nature, and taking time to self-soothe, to honor yourself and take care of yourself, and enjoy what's important in your life. The second card is like a dream card, and it's the card of compassion. And when you look at this card, there's a heart in the very center of the lotus. And what the book says on this is that this is a dream card, and it's a card of compassion as you sleep, compassion in your dreams, compassion as you journey. And it suggests that you, if there's something that you want to dream about, if there's something that you want to let go of in your dreams, write it down and put it under your pillow. And you will be traveling through your dreams, and you will have the message of compassion. Two cards came out with the my beautiful tree deck, and the first one is to listen. Listen to what nature is telling you. Listen to what your guides are telling you, what the Fae are telling you. And along with that came the story. Um, enjoy your story. Um, let your story grow. Um, embrace it because it's who you are. And I love that for you because I don't know, I dropped the card. Let me get it here for just a minute, Pam. I've got, just look at how ancient that tree is, and look down here what's going on. There's just all this magic all around your story, and I love that for you. That's what I have for you, Pam.
Okay. Ooh. I love that tree deck. That's still such a
Oh, isn't it
beautiful.
beautiful?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, Pamela, I went to my obsidian veil and I end up pulling Hecate for you. And I'm like, okay, so Morgan, you want her to, get the message with Hecate. And when I was looking up the page that she's on, I noticed in this book that he has her under Morgana. And of course, he addresses the vengeful aspect of Morgana. And so it feels like I was meant to see that and pull Hecate for you as well, because there are some decks like the Goddess Oracle. Nancy has that deck. I used to own it. The Morgan Le Fay was depicted also as a triple goddess, and one of her animals too was the crow. And with Hecate, she's also a triple goddess. And specifically for Hecate, we are at a crossroads. And it says here, I am the guardian of crossroads, the mistress of magic, and the keeper of secrets. So in this book, Morgana is also associated with the feelings of revenge and the feelings of injustice, especially when they were bestowed upon her after the patriarchal, basic takeover where she was deemed evil and her powers and her titles and everything was stripped away. Thank you, Stephen. Thanks for coming out and hanging out with us. Enjoy dinner. So it feels like her message here is that there may be something that you are at a crossroads with, for something that might feel like in not well. We do have to watch revenge. We ask for karma, we ask for justice. So I'm feeling like there's something that you are at a crossroads with, that both her and the energy of Hecate um, can guide you with at this time through this. So with that said, I'll put that aside, and I pulled the moonflower for you. And the moonflower is like the morning glory. A lot of times the moonflower will bloom once, maybe for one day, for a few hours, and then it dies and withers away. So the moonflower, even just the word moon and flower, we're still again connecting to things that are associated with the Fae. And as I show you these other cards that I pulled, that makes sense. So the affirmation for the moonflower is, I open in my own time and in my own way. So having dealt with feelings of wanting, wishing revenge, or wanting an injustice served, or karma to be served, you're at like a crossroads. Okay, we need to leave that behind, face what we are at our crossroads, and start focusing on us, allowing ourselves to bloom, allowing ourselves to blossom, slowly and precisely when we are meant to. um, it indicates that you're finding creative power by breaking patterns and rhythms, which also feels very much like the organa. So if there's something in your past that were bad patterns, negative patterns, things that that happened to you. You're taking that energy and now changing it and being at that crossroads, taking back your power and moving forward. And the rest of the cards will just, show that right here. I was only supposed to pull two from the Wisdom or House of Night deck, Wisdom of the House of Night deck, but they kept telling me keep pulling, and these were all from the rest of them were all from the bottom. So for me, the bottom is more of the underlining energy that may be conscious or subconscious or unconscious, maybe something dreamlike with you. So first card up is message. So receiving the message. So this could very well be the message that's coming into you or coming to you, or she's reiterating that you have been receiving these messages. And again, there is the crow or the raven. They're messengers of magic, of dreams, of a reminder of our magic. It's the death rebirth, leaving behind what was, and now it's time for you to rewrite your own story. There's the papyrus there, or the parchment for you to read the message and for you to rewrite that story. Moving out, taking an oath, taking that oath to yourself that with the breaking of these possible patterns or the past, that you're taking this oath upon yourself that you're going to move forward. You're going to hear the message, you accept the message. And when you do that, you will find that inner strength. You will have that inner strength to carry you through. And your last card is trusting in your vision, trusting in your abilities, trusting in your intuition. And yes, that's what I have. Moonflower, full moon, vision, letting go of that past, using that as roots like the tree to hold yourself up and to move forward as you come across these crossroads. And that's what I have for you, Pamela. I hope that resonated.
I tried to plant moonflower when I first moved here, and it only lasted one season for me. So this is before I realized what an annual and a perennial were.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Pamela, the next card would have been letting go. Look at that. So
What
again,
deck is
letting
that,
go.
Heather?
Huh?
What deck is that one?
This is Wisdom of the House of Night. It was based on a witchy vampire
Oh,
teenage book series by PCH Cast or something like that. I didn't know that until after I bought the deck because I loved the
uh-huh.
artwork in it. So I don't, read the book. I'm not really into the vampire thing, but the artwork is beautiful. It's Jenna Del Gritalia. So I absolutely love. I still like to pull out that deck.
Did you say that was a
And
Dora Virtue one?
no, Colette Baron Reed.
I meant that's what I meant.
Yes. I don't have the book or box anymore. I just have the actual deck left over. But just beware, the corners are very pointy and sharp when you get them. Even after you use them for a while, they're like, ow, if you catch them the wrong way. So, what did Pamela say? I'm running with the wolf pack with instincts, and there's the moon. Hecate has been visiting, but aloof. I appreciate. Oh wow, so she's there, and I think that I love how Morgan Le Fay was there to kind of say, okay, all these feelings that you're having, whether you're wanting an injustice served or you're trying to right an injustice. And by breaking old patterns, that's how we can break old injustices, by setting ourselves apart. And like you said, you know, running with the wolf pack and your instincts. So leaving that all behind when you're at that crossroads. That's beautiful. Always my card, letting go. But I'm glad that it resonated. Yay. So did I miss anybody else during the reading? Did anyone else ask for a reading, or are we all done, ladies?
I think we're done. I haven't noticed anybody else.
Is Audra still here? Did she want a reading? Otherwise, yeah, we're done.
Audra, did you ask for a reading? I'm just going to double check and I'll take a quick sip. A quick sip is always good. Well, as we were waiting, ladies, what you got coming up on your channels?
Channel. I don't even know.
I've got zip.
Stop lollygagging, Nancy. No, just kidding.
Well, I just,
You're taking a break.
I
Yes.
am. Yeah, I
Me
am.
too, and I'm enjoying it. Not so many.
Yeah, it's a good thing. I do readings every Sunday night at 7 p.m. with Scott, Scorpio Sun Tarot.
And then she's stuck with me on Mondays.
Yeah, oh, not stuck. I look forward to it. Yeah,
Me too.
yeah.
I have Viviani on Friday. We haven't read together in a
Ooh.
while.
Oh, that's
Ooh.
Oh, and then
wonderful.
on Sunday, Sun Psychic Jean and I are doing Celtic Mysteries. So
Ooh, what
um,
time is that?
Ooh.
that's at 12 p.m. Eastern.
12 p.m.
Um,
Sunday.
yeah.
Okay.
So,
Right.
and I believe we're doing Celtic Mysteries of Celtic.
What do you mean by mysteries?
It's kind of like instead of paranormal, it's like
Gotcha.
we we've done Egyptian mysteries. Um, Fascinating when we did I almost said Hathor, but we didn't do it. Nefertiti. I used Julie Kushawatz's deck, and
Mm.
it was one of the most amazing mysteries that we've ever done. Those cards were just prime for that. And
Oh,
So you were asking what her life was about, trying to find
mhm,
out if she
mhm,
was
yep,
Pharaoh or what? Oh, oh,
right.
okay.
And will she ever be
I
found?
remember that. That was a good show.
Yeah,
The
yeah. I
cards you
think
drew were
so.
amazing. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
I still
yeah,
want to get an Egyptian deck.
yeah.
So
So, yeah, there's a couple out there right now, but mine was gifted to me by Julie. But it is mass market now. But
I know Allison's got an Egyptian deck that I fell in love with. She's got two of them. I think one she says all just major arcana, but I think the other one has the whole excuse me, all 78, and I'm just like,
Which
ooh.
yeah,
deck
there's
was
a
that,
new one
Ginger,
out
by
right now.
Julie?
What's that?
What was the name of that deck by Julie?
Oh, that one was.
Nope.
I think I used the ancestral. I either. I think I used Journey into Egypt. That is not mass market
Yeah,
yet.
no, I didn't think so because I've got the
Mm-mm.
ancestral one, and I was thinking, oh
Yeah,
boy,
yeah. No, I didn't use. I thought
journey
I
into
did, but
Egypt.
no, I did Journey into Egypt, and those I almost didn't have to do a reading because those cards had everything.
Yes.
It answered. We had asked was Nefertiti and I forget who were lovers, and and then the lovers card comes out. I mean, every time we asked a
Wow.
question, the card spoke, and it was just
Uh-huh.
I was
Now,
blown away.
Pamela said they never found her tomb, I believe. I
Yeah.
think they're still looking for it. Yeah.
Well, and then Jean just forwarded a video to me.
Hi, Sylvia.
Somebody channeled. Hi, Sylvia. Somebody channeled. I don't know if it was Nefertiti. No, it was Tutankhamun.
Oh,
Oh,
Anyway, fascinating. According to whomever she channeled, they will never find the tomb.
who
Um,
channeled him?
I don't. I'll forward you
Oh,
the video.
oh, okay.
And then what I didn't know was, and it made sense because of the way the readings were. Um, oh my gosh, I can't even think of anybody. I almost said Nosferatu.
hey, well, maybe Nosferatu
Um,
wants a word. What
okay.
about me?
God bless. What's two?
He,
Um,
he, he says, I got a story that you can really sink your teeth into. Bum, bum, bum.
um,
Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
he's supposedly an Anunnaki. God bless him. Why can't I think of his name?
Oh, Anunnaki.
People believe to think he was Tutankhamun's father, and
Oh,
he was not. He was the stepfather.
oh,
And who is
okay.
this again?
Mitch, I'll forward you the video.
Okay,
Um,
sorry.
why can I not think of his name? I always know his name. Um, not
Toth?
no.
Well, you are
Um,
getting close to 60, Ginger.
I am. I've lost it already. Oh my God, I'm gonna have to quickly
I can
Google
say that
that.
because I love her. She knows I'm
Yeah.
kidding.
That's why I'm sitting here
Oh.
going, can't believe I'm gonna be 55 this year. Hey,
Um,
hey.
Akhenaten. Thank you. Akhenaten.
Akhenaten.
Okay.
Oh,
Akhenaten was believed to be King Tut's father, but he was not.
oh, wow.
And he was his stepfather. And of course, when you go to, ancient aliens, ancient astronaut theories suggest
I
that
know. It
Akhenaten
drives
was
me
from the
nuts.
stars.
Yeah,
So
everything's all
that would
alien
make
connected.
sense that he was a stepfather and not his
Yeah,
real father. But anyways, a really interesting video. I'll have to link you
cool.
guys
Speaking
into
of
that.
And for
2001,
people who are
it's
still here
full
watching with
of
us, because we have 7
stars.
in chat, tomorrow is Ginger's birthday. So everyone live wishing Ginger a very happy, fae blessed,
Thank you.
fae
Yeah.
filled. There we go, fae
May
filled
or may
birthday.
not go live on that because we'll have to see what my sons have in store for me and how when I get back home and how I feel because I do
Yeah.
have to go to work the next day, but not early though, which is awesome.
Oh, I get to sleep in.
Just a
So,
little bit.
alrighty. Well, no one else has requested a reading. So, thank you,
Mhm.
everyone that did request a reading that's been hanging out with us. We appreciate your support. And you heard
This
it
was
here.
so fun.
Yes. And so, Nancy on Sundays with Scott, Scorpio, at 7
Thank you,
Eastern. And
Pam.
then Ginger's going to be on Friday again with Viviani
Vivian, 7
at
p.m. I don't think I said the time. Mhm.
for I'm assuming are they going to be like animal no, not animal readings,
They're
akashic
just,
like readings or just
I'm not sure what I don't plan on that she's going to do Akashic. We're just going to do messages from spirit, I think. I don't know
well,
yet.
Okay.
subscribe to Ginger and Viviani, and then you'll
Yes.
be able to find out what they're going to be reading on. So
Right.
I don't know if there will be a Friday show this week, but I might do a pop-up here or there possibly.
Mhm.
Every couple of days you get the itch to shuffle. So
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
probably end up doing something like that. So, everybody, thank you again for joining us. We hope you have a wonderful week and
Mhm.
the rest of a wonderful evening. And we'll talk to you
Yes.
later.
Oh, wait. Pam,
Oh,
Pam had a suggestion that we each do a card for each other.
Oh, okay.
oh,
Or we can
so,
do a collective, each of us do a collective message, even. But
you can do a collect. I mean,
let's do a card for each other. I do have to go. My Kyle's waiting for dinner.
Oh, yes.
okay.
He
So,
insists on going to the mall, which
uh,
I cannot handle going through a mall. All right, we get to do
I
one
used to
card.
love going to the mall, but that was the 80s when malls were cool and music
Okay,
was
I have
cool
a card. Is this for the collective?
for
No,
each other.
okay, let's do one card each for each.
Okay, okay. I do one for Ginger and I do one for Heather, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Well, Miss Ginger. Oops. There we go. Message came up again too for you.
Ooh.
So pay attention to dreams, to nature, to guides, to the animals, birds, especially if you see, any of the birds of prey that are messengers, but you have a message coming. So it's on its way. So, and I think maybe a dream, maybe keeping a journal by your bed tonight or in the next couple of nights. This could
I
be
had a
maybe a
horrible dream
message for
last
your
night.
birthday.
A big old
Hmm?
giant spider trying to get me last night. The butt was like this big, and
Honey,
I
I
was
had a
trying
black
to.
widow in my place last week. It's like,
This was
oh
more.
no. So you got a message coming, and Miss Nancy,
Hey,
don't
Maru,
be
thank
afraid to
you.
take a risk.
Oh, a
Stand
wrist.
on that edge
Ooh.
and just free fall
Let me
into
open card.
whatever, something
Oh,
that you want to do.
all right.
Don't be afraid, just free fall. Let spirit catch you. And that's what I have for you
I
two
love that.
ladies.
Okay, I'll go next.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Heather, you know I love Jeremy Hush. So, and I love this
Me too.
depiction of the tower. So,
Mm-hmm.
what I love about this one is you're finally out of that tower that wasn't working for you, and now you're rebuilding. You're rebuilding a new wing in your spiritual tower. This tower is going to be so strong, and and it's got a great window view of something. Do you have a window view of?
Oh, honey, I have window views for my studio,
Yes,
for parts of the
yeah.
mountains around here. So
Oh,
yeah,
really? I
the park.
love that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's what this card is speaking of is you rebuilding this life, new life for you. And again, like I said, it's got this beautiful window view, and you fascinating that you get to see the little birds and are you're not on a second story, are you?
Nope, we're on the floor.
On the floor. Okay, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I feel like in this image, you and Hubs, and there's a bird over here that this was your the assistant, someone helping you out, helping you find this home, and well, that was your story, isn't it?
Yep, they
Um,
helped us. Yeah.
yeah. So I feel like they're still there for you. It's not the
Mm-hmm.
last that you work with them.
Nope.
Okay. And then Miss Nancy, you got
Ooh.
this fun Knight of Swords here. Okay, so Knight of Swords. So this is about you being on that quest, but it's a quest of well, obviously this quest for information and knowledge, but I feel like it's writing, writing either journals or a book or something of that, but something new, something not sure if you've thought of it yet. Um, but he's also using, I feel like he's using this uh, sword as a magic wand, just because of the way he's holding it,
Mm-hmm.
and just a bird getting ready to fly here. So I don't think the quest has quite started yet, but you're on the bird, you're ready to take flight, and somehow you have a magical sword, which is your magical wand.
Ooh.
Um, yeah, so yeah, that's what I have for you,
Oh, I
Nancy.
love that.
Yeah.
Nice. And Maruta, Madam Maru has joined us, and she wished you a
She
happy
did.
birthday as
Thank
well,
you. Thank
Ginger.
you.
So,
Wonderful. Our
yeah.
birthday girl.
Mhm.
Um, Ginger, for you, I got segment. It says, be strong.
Oh,
You are stronger than you think
oh.
you are, and your strength assures a happy outcome.
Absolutely. Love it.
You were strong, girl.
Oh,
And Heather, for you came out Mawu, Mother Earth. You
ooh,
are called upon to help with environmentalism. I could see
ooh.
you doing that, Heather.
That's what this
Especially
area is
now
all
where you
about.
Yeah,
are.
It's
see
Yeah,
you doing
environmentalism.
that.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
loving
That's
that.
for you.
Love
There you
it. That
go.
was a great
Yes,
idea,
Yeah.
Pamela. Thank you.
yes,
I love
yes.
that.
Thank you, Pam.
So, everybody, thank
Thank
you
you. Thank you.
again for joining us, and we hope you all have a rest of your lovely evening. For me, afternoon. And so we will all talk to you later.
Okay.
All
Bye
right.
bye,
Bye.
everybody.
Blessings.